At it again here. We got the cage. I don't know if you call that a roll cage, protected cage, or safety cage. And then this thing that I'm not real sure that goes on the front of it. It wasn't on it when I first picked it up. But anyway, we got these. I took them over and had somebody powder, or not powder coat, but media blast them, sandblast them for me, and I just got them back this week, and I put a quick coat of primer on it so it didn't start surface rusting. So we'll set those aside and paint those. This one's going to need some of the metal work needs to be fixed, and I need to figure out exactly how it mounts to the front. I think there was some hacks made on that, I guess you'd say. So welding on that's not real good. So anyway, I'll fix that, decide if we're going to use it, and I'll fix that before I paint it. Christmas Eve 2021, and it's actually 59 degrees. So I need to come out here and take advantage of this. We're at the point where we need to clean up and start painting the chassis. And so what we got to do here, I power washed this for the third time, and I've got a little bit of grease left there, so I'm going to need to use some of the purple skin eater and remove that. I started to brush it with a metal brush, tested a little bit of paint on it. Interesting thing right now in the middle of a pandemic and supply chain shortage, you can't find satin black paint, so I'm going to have to go with flat black paint. So down here I've got some more degreasing to go. We'll get that done, and then we've got to take that thing there off. There's also one on the cross member, and the rear axle assembly spins on that. I'm not sure what it's called. Interesting thing is I don't see any grease zerks or anything like that, but we're going to take it off. I think there's a like a shock gasket. You can't see it. Well, on this one it's missing. You can see it right down, this one right down here. I think it's just a little rubber O-ring, giant O-ring or whatever. So I have to see what I can do to remake one of those. I'm going to take that off, or take the rest of these bolts out and package them up on here. And then on the outside, what I think I'm going to do here is I'm just going to fire up the air compressor, hook up my DA sander, and sand the outside off. Now right here you can see when I was looking for the serial number, I just used a wire brush on that. You can see it's surface rusting a little bit, but that was, I don't know what, about 8-9 months ago. So I think it'll come off fairly easy. But anyway, I'm going to prep it, and maybe it's probably going to be below 50 degrees the next few days, but I still may attempt to paint it, because once I get this painted, then I can start reassembling and we can start going the other way. Okay, we got the bolts all out, bagged, solder tagged, and then we've got this thing out at the back. You can see it's got a tapered shaft on there. Had to kind of bang it out of there. And then when I was talking about that O-ring on the back, actually what this is it's like a bushing that goes all the way through from the front to the back, and the back part is missing. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a bushing like that or what I'm going to do. So that may be a challenge. But we got it off and we can clean it up now. So I'm gonna spray the purple skin eater on there. All right, we got the left side of it sanded and some primer put on it. I still, like along the top and stuff, I primered it so it went surface rust, but I'll probably hit that a little bit better yet. You can see there in that spot I didn't even really get it sanded down at all. And then I got 2 coats of the purple skin eater on, but I still am going to need to do some more degreasing on that. And then I think I'm going to have to hook the engine hoist up, lift it up so I can get under that engine mount. There's quite a bit of grease back there and around those flat surfaces there and up there. So it'll be a process, but we'll just keep working at it. Does look, took all the patina off, I guess, but probably dropped the value of it, but who cares? I want it to look nice. Okay. Now, I got that side primed last time I was out here. And then I went ahead and came out today and sanded down that side with the DA sander. And then the other thing I did is I used my die grinder with a wire brush and a diamond tip to clean out the beveled holes in the side. I'm going to go out and get another wire brush. The other thing I did is I bought one of these little 2-inch sanders, hook and loop, to get into some of the tight spaces. And then I also used the little belt sander to get into the tight spaces. This top here is kind of, on both sides, it's got a groove down it. And I use that belt sander to get in there, and then the little wire brush on the die grinder. So, got that all done. I used the engine hoist here to tip it up because I need to, on the bottom, you can see there's still quite a bit of grime. So there, down there. So I scrape that off, wire brush that, and then I'll actually paint that. I still need to do a little bit more degreasing here too. So I'll do that, flip it back down, get the primer on there, and then it's probably ready for paint. Now I used 80 grit sandpaper on here. I'm probably going to just leave it at that since obviously this isn't a concourse restoration. There is no concourse for old forklifts, but my main goal is to make sure that the paint sticks. And what I've been using is Rust-Oleum primer, and then I think I mentioned in one of the other videos, I'm using Rust-Oleum International Harvester Red paint on it, what they call implement paint, just an enamel. So I'll get that, hopefully I get that, I can come back out here later this afternoon and get that cleaned up, or the bottom cleaned up, and then I can get the primer on it. We're back at it again today. And what I gotta do today is get this grease off the bottom, or at least right now, get this grease off the bottom. And then use some purple skin remover on it. So I can get this painted. folks, after scraping and grinding with the die grinder and wire brush, we're finally at the point where we can apply some purple skin eater on it. So we will do that. Let it soak for a little while. And then I will attempt to dry it off and see if we can't spray some black paint on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'll let this soak a little bit. I might even apply a little bit more to keep it wet for a little bit longer. And then what I'm going to do is I've got some Scotch-Brite sponges here. I'm going to scrub it a little bit. See if I can really get that down. And then I will get a bucket of water and neutralize that and dry it off before I spray some paint on it. Where I got all the grease off the bottom of it. Used our purple skin eater on it, cleaned it off, blew her dry. So now we're going to apply some paint here. Again, this is going to be flat black. And what do we do with the paint? It's the 4th of January, and I was able to get out here. It's like 60 degrees out, so I was able to get out here and put the final coats of primer on. Not the best conditions. Looking at like about 37 degrees on the metal, but I wanted to get the primer on. It'll take forever for it to dry, but I'm not in any hurry, so I'm not going to be probably back out here working on the rest of it for a few weeks until it starts to warm back up. But as far as I'm concerned, the chassis is ready. When it warms up, I'll throw a couple coats of paint on those sides and back there, and we'll start to work on it and get some more stuff reassembled.